Hello, I think. Are we actually live now? Even though it doesn't have... Maybe this works, but it still shows black. Technology is eluding me today. Like, for reals. Because at least now I can get a picture of me. But you can't hear the music? At least now I can get a picture of me. But you can't hear the music? And what about the game? Is Final Fantasy being difficulty today? We tried to switch over to Twitch Studio, so that's what I'm working on at the moment. And screen share will allow you to see the whole of everything. That should just be Final Fantasy. Let's make this a little smaller. We're just kind of hanging out in the bottom corner being creepy now. It's like, we're gonna watch some story quests. I'm sad that the stream is not getting sound. And we're on the right situations. Hoy vey. I need a technical support guy. That's what I really need in my life. Why is this? Because you gotta hear the sound quality to make this work. That's the whole point of this. I finally got the voices to where I could hear the voices. And it's like sound check, but I can hear it, and you can't. Maybe if I save it and go back to it, it looks like still not. If I add an audio, does that give you sound from Final Fantasy? Ah, so we're getting sound. It just was not up in. Okay, I'm having horrible audio issues today. Am Wald. How do we sound? How's the audio going right now? Besides the echo. Fuck. Pardon my language. I started out in Streamlabs, and apparently this shit computer I have won't run Streamlabs. Okay, good. My microphone, at one point, Streamlabs wouldn't even put out a picture. I was like, what is happening? What is happening? Mr. Wald, have you ever played Final Fantasy? That's what we're doing today. The Final Fantasy is my addiction, 100%. I've played this game for thousands of hours. I've invested years of my life into this game. And today, I've played most of the single-player Final Fantasy games, not the MMOs though, yet anyways. Haha, well I mean, like, now's a great time to get into it. I tell people all the time, anytime's a great time to get into it. It's going to take you a month to get to the storyline before you can really start doing anything. I really feel like you should look at this MMO as a first person, like, because the way it queues is you queue up with random people, and they're better than NPCs most of the time, but they actually have like an NPC setup that lets you go through, and you could do it with just NPCs. You could technically get all the way through just not talking to anybody. And that might be the best way, because this storyline, as you're about to see today, is intense. The storyline is intense in general. So like, this is the never, like, these are in rooms. So you go here to rest, change your glamours, store your stuff, play with toys you've picked up. You can actually just retire, like if you click on the bed and log out, it logs you out of the game with a cute little cutscene to log you out of the game because it's so adorable. Final Fantasy is adorable. But the Never-Ending Journal is where we're going to spend most of our time today, because it goes back and lets you review all the cutscenes from, like, ever. So we're just going to do ShadowBringers though, because that's enough. That's the level 70 to 80 quests. And these are all of the first ones. So the preface to this particular cutscene is Totaro excitedly shares the latest development in the hunt for the beacon. Apparently your colleagues have discovered a pathway leading to the bottom of the ravine in which the Crystal Tower stands, rendering its base accessible. Despite narrowing down the search area, however, it seems there is still a lot of ground to cover. According to Totaro, a boat waits on the northern edge of Silvertear Lake, ready to fare helping hands over to the newly established survey site. You cross over to the eastern shore and enter the expansive hollow in the foot of the Crystal Tower. Totaro stands nearby, eager to make a start. Though you have only the vaguest idea what it is you're looking for, you join the search. Having stumbled rather fortuitously on what turns out to be the beacon, you are subject to yet another visitation by a mysterious voice. This time, however, it rings triumphantly clear. Moments later, you find yourself transported to a distant and unfamiliar land. Could this truly be another world? Lost, confused, you happen upon a traveling peddler who sets you on the road he calls the Crystallarium. In the event that you leave the area, you wish to return to okay, that was the end of the what. I feel like this might actually be covered in the cutscene, but now I'm kind of curious. Maybe I should have gone back. All right. Post Stormblood. A Requiem for Heroes. I'm trying to remember back to where I was. The resistant fighter informs you that Raban is prepared to discuss strategy. You offer a curt nod, and he proceeds to escort you to Alliance headquarters. I think this is the whole cutscene. Let's just watch the cutscene and see. Maybe I can explain it afterwards, because I feel like it's just reading the cutscene, like it's giving a synopsis of what we're going to watch.
There have been several skirmishes along the border, but as yet neither side has delivered a decisive blow. We had long assumed that the fight, but we seem to be gaining ground, albeit slowly. As to why that might be, the most likely explanation is that they have yet to commit all their forces. Still, we're winning, and our latest intelligence suggests the Emperor has retreated back to Garlemald. In light of this, we're considering launching an offensive with the aim of pushing the front line forward and giving ourselves some room to breathe.
Commander! The Imperials! They've broken through our defenses to the east!
What?
Our scouts say their forces are being led by Lord Xenos. Lord Heian and Commander Hext have taken their troops to provide support. but we don't know how long they can hold out.
I love Lord Ian. It's my favorite.
So
my
they've
man
been
crush.
biding their time, waiting for his arrival, have they? Very well. Send word to our allies, requesting reinforcements for the front line.
What else would you do? He should have just panicked. That'd been funny. Ah!
Should the worst come to the worst, I may need to enter the fray myself. But what of you? Do you still have the strength to fight?
Of course. Let's murder the Asian. That's what's important. It's murdering the Asians. Because they're
He may not
Asians.
die as such, but to see Lord Xenos fall on the battlefield would deal a heavy blow to Imperial morale. I'll see to it the men stay clear.
If you enjoy the hat,
Why
then
won't
I'll show you
they
the glamours after
open?
this.
Please, I bid you open.
Oh, right. I get why this mysterious voice that happens to us is happening to all the Scions.
What's wrong? Is it the voice again? Are you sure you're in a fit state to do this?
He looks so concerned. I love how they can make these
May
models
Ralga grant us strength.
look
Give 'em hell, lad.
human, I guess.
I, for my part, will defend this place to my dying breath.
Oh, Raban. Oh, Raban. Meanwhile, at the border of Alamigo. Meanwhile, at the border of Alamigo. Did I not get the rest of that? Oh, there's two cutscenes. I better make sure I'm doing it right. Meanwhile, at the border of Alamigo. Oh, it's Mr. Sexy Pants. And Mr. Bloated McGee. Yeah, his big hips don't lie. There's Liar Face. She's such a liar. Dedicated. You girl. There was a whole side story quest line they just released. That was a cutscene. That was the best cutscene. Love it. Love it. Like introduction to cast of characters. Love it. Now we get the cutscene with the fighting. Ooh, get him, boy. Yes, you get him. No.
Fall, fiend!
There's you, girl, getting him. The double team. She's a ninja, like for real.
Ah!
Ooh, that sounded like it hurt. Kinda. I had to switch overlays, so I don't have any of my cool stuff on this one.
Damn you!
At least she didn't lie about that. Uh-oh, here I come in them sexy boots. Look out, y'all. These boots are made for kicking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days, these boots are gonna smash in your face.
Magic. With a Garlean body. That's hardly fair.
Aww.
Still, he must be stopped. No matter the cost.
I mean, looks like y'all are all dead already. I'm not sure what he thinks he's gonna do about it, but okay. Oh no. Look at all the extra stuff shooting around, like the battlefield. There's a whole dungeon you get to go through.
Bringer
This.
of light. It has been too long. No words to mark our reunion? So be it. Equilibrium must be restored, and only your death will redress the balance.
Sounds like that chick we've been mount farming. Can you restore the balance? Ooh. Also, hey Bats, thanks for stopping by. Ooh. Ah. I guess I beat him. That's what happened, is I beat him.
Your mother chose her champion well. Yet, for all your strength, you will still fail. Ah!
Please, I beseech you.
I'm sorry, I'm having other technical difficulties today as well.
Someone calls to you. Too late, alas.
Too late, alas. You know I'm gonna get him. You know I'm gonna get him. I am, after all, the Warrior of Light. Oh no. What happened? Where'd we go? Oh no! This bitch. Hear, feel, see.
At last, I found you.
Miss New Booty. And who you? What up?
Please, there's no cause for alarm.
If anybody's seen the D&D, you know how I feel about being teleported
Though,
against my
I
will.
confess, this is not where I had intended to meet.
Don't like that. It's not cool.
But the place of our meeting is of no consequence, like the war you wage. Win or lose, the path you walk leads only to oblivion. The better path leads you here, to me. I have need of your strength.
That seems presumptuous. I feel like, yep, you have to send me back now. Like, I have a life. I was doing stuff. How dare you just teleport me away from here? How dare you?
The battle is over, the danger past. But your work is not yet done.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the Crystal Tower. I have left something for you near its base. It will serve as a beacon of sorts, one which I pray will help you on your journey. All you need do is find it. I will take care of the rest.
Be like, I'm displeased.
Soon, we will throw wide the gates. And the path to the first will be yours to walk at last.
What? Who just teleports somebody like that? But like, I know we said we were gonna do Shadowbringers, but I had to. They took my hat. And she didn't say nothing, just runs away. Like, she could have been like, "Oh, you're awake! Yay!" Ooh, there's second bay. She looks so short compared to him.
You're awake. Thank heavens.
I feel like I'd definitely go with, oh, what happened? The last thing I saw was I was about to get zapped in the face with a sword, so what was that about?
Do you recall the confrontation with Xenos?
Yes.
You were the first to come to the aid of Mistress Lys and the others on the front line.
That's my job. Warrior of Light, you know. That's what we do.
In the midst of your duel, it is said you faltered,
We don't
and
do
that the
that.
Crown Prince seized the opportunity to deliver a mortal blow.
Oh no.
Yet before his blade could find its mark, he was distracted by the arrival of a second adversary who bore you away from the battlefield and into the hands of our chirurgeons.
How convenient.
Lest you wonder, he left before you awoke. As is his wont.
Oh, we know who this fellow is. Our savior. I'll never call him Bay, but he's real
Estinian
tight.
never was one for emotional
A
farewells.
weirdo though. It's a weirdo. Gotta love him though, but it's a weirdo.
Though Xenos bested all before him, the battle clearly took its toll, for he retreated shortly after your rescue. Seeing this, the remaining Imperial forces decided discretion was the better part of valor and pulled back, allowing us to re-establish our position. We have since received word of renewed unrest in the provinces, doubtless inspired by the efforts of the Eorzean Alliance and our
Yay.
Far Eastern allies. Nor does the good news end there. We have also come into possession of intelligence suggesting unrest within the Imperial Court.
Ooh. Unrest. They don't
This
even know
would
the half of
certainly
that.
explain why both the Emperor and Lord Xenos appear to have abandoned the fight.
Spoilers! Spoilers!
A long-awaited ray of hope in these dark times.
Spoilers! What of the Scions? I don't know why we're just asking about one specific one. Like, I guess if you want to have a crush on Alize, you can
Yet to
inquire
awake, I'm afraid. But please,
if you want to.
concentrate on your own recovery for
I
now.
feel like she's cantankerous. I don't know why you would want to fall in love with her.
You have carried the hopes of some half-dozen nations, and we are all eternally grateful for your efforts. But no one is without their limits, not even you. Leave this fight to us, my friend. You have earned your rest. But before I forget, I was asked to deliver a message as soon as you awoke.
Ooh.
A reminder that you are not alone, though many of your allies have fallen. When you are well and rested, you are to return home, where friends will be waiting for you.
I dislike Lise. Dislike her intently. She's nothing but a whiny bitch
Now,
from the
if you will
get-go.
excuse me, I must return to the front.
Useless.
May we meet again soon. Under
Lying
happier
whiny bitch
circumstances.
even. Like, spoilers. Spoilers. I mean, I guess I don't know. Like, if people know that Lise is a lying SOB, when she does her reveal, you're gonna be like, ah, that's what he meant, and be totally justified. Pray, return to the waking sands. It's like they're trying to introduce some new scions.
By the 12! I don't believe it!
Aww, Tataru!
I rushed back as soon as I could.
Look at the tears in her eyes.
I swear, my heart
is
nearly
so
stopped
amazing.
when I heard you'd collapse like the others. What in heaven's name is going on?
Mm. The lesser known scions have gathered.
Win or lose, the
This is
path
like
you walk leads
the
only
B
to
team.
oblivion. Oh, well, that's helpful. And what else did he say? The better path leads to him?
The better path leads to him. Anybody who says that.
If his is the
seems
voice
evil.
you've all been hearing, perhaps the others are with him. Sir Emmerich said the fighting had reached a stalemate, didn't he? But if that monster masquerading as Xenos comes back... Thancred, Y'shtola, Urianger, Alphino, Alize. You're going to need all of them on your side to defeat him.
That was a rather breathy statement.
And I forbid you from going to face him on your own, do you hear me?
I mean, I'm the most important one. It's cool.
So if you
Cool.
must leave, go and find the others. Bring them home.
Oh, sure. Love those boots. Fan. I want those boots in real life.
As for where to start, you said the stranger had left a beacon for you at the Crystal Tower, right? But how are you to find it, now that the tower has been sealed shut? There has to be a way. If anyone would know, it's Sid, and the researchers of St. Coinac's find. Don't you worry, we'll find that beacon for you.
I feel like we can probably skip the trip to the researchers. I think we can skip that part. Because that's like a whole bunch. Because once you go into Stormblood, that's us meeting to find... We're going to go deal with the beacon. So I'm just going to skip to that. Because now we know. We have a way to deal with the beacon. We got it from Sid. And a lot of the post quests are just filler while we're waiting for the next expansion. Like that whole quest, there was probably a whole quest storyline that we did for a week in like the workshop in
Look how many
Ishgard.
people there are! Should we get to it then? Pick up anything that seems the least bit device-like, and we'll make ourselves a pile.
Well, if it isn't the hero of the hour, maybe you'll change our look. We've found bugger all without you.
I forgot he sounds like that.
Biggs! Wedge!
Aye, aye. Well, we could hardly say no to a call for aid from the Scions. Jesse called it the chief of some other business, so we'll be working twice as hard to make up for his not being here.
Thrice as hard, even.
Thank you, both of you. I'm sure we'll find that beacon in no time.
Mm-hmm. There are a bunch of people here. Everybody wants to save the Scions. And it's right, they should. We've saved them so many times.
I'm not seeing anything out here. Do you reckon you could squeeze in there, Wedge?
And get stuck halfway? No, thank you.
Why does he sound like, the guy who does carpenter
I could try if you like.
Tataru, no! We couldn't ask you to do that.
Oh, I'll be fine. This receptionist is not afraid to get her hands dirty.
And I'm just like, oh hey, here it is. Found it.
Sorry, I meant to say, the scholars haven't finished their preliminary assessment of the site yet, so we're not supposed to venture too far in. What's that you got there? Now that looks promising.
I feel like that's typical bureaucracy. It's like,
Isn't that the Ironworks symbol? Counterfeiters?
Now I have you.
You are right.
What's happening?
Stay with me. Focus on my voice. Let expanse
it does not look
contract. Eon
pleasant.
become instant.
Wait,
This looks like
this
it hurts.
must be it.
Like a
The
bitch.
device. Oh, this is supposed to happen.
Throw wide the gates that we may pass.
Oh, safe journey, warrior of light. Find our friends and bring them home.
I'm glad she has faith. I'd be freaking out. Like, why am I teleporting? Ah! Ah! Ooh. Shiny. Does look sharp. Oh, now we're flying. Where's my mount? No! Flying without a mount is unsafe!
It is a day for faded reunions.
And thank you for showing me the way.
Dawn's light will shine again.
Oh, do not look at me so.
Oh, Hierophant.
You're slaves to a tyrant! There's no freedom in that!
Away with you!
I must say, your spirited accounts always comes in.
We did everything right. Everything that was asked of us, and still it came to this.
Wait, am I supposed to know who he is yet? I feel like I don't know who he is yet. Right? This feels bad. Like, is that a euphemism for death?
Your time has not yet come.
I think that was a euphemism for death, and the Oracle of Light just basically sent us back. Now the question is, did she send us back to the wrong place? Because we're looking awful fuzzy. We know this shadowy figure is a warrior because of the axe. That's pretty much all we know. Nope, now we see it's the same dude that was in the bubble. In the bubble. Here I am, once again on my back. He just lays there, moves his eyes around. Like, okay, this is happening. Got it. Super bright
From
sky.
endless
purple.
dreams I awake. Something vague, yet urgent, calls me to action once more.
Lone chocobo by fire. These chocobos look familiar. Wait. You're the same dude that brought me in here on the very first
Rare to meet
cutscene?
someone out here who's not a peddler themselves. What brings you into the wilds this time of night?
What do you mean, this time of night?
Well, if it ain't the oldest joke in the book. Me grandad, God's rest his soul, used to tell that one to the barman at kicking out time. And when, pray tell, did we last have a dark night? You rotten old drunk, you, he'd reply. Yeah. Over 100 bleeding years ago, that's when.
100 years of daylight. Interesting.
You got that look down to a T. I'd almost think you meant it. Ah, got to you, did they? Poor beggar. That explains it then.
What? Rude.
Well, I've roads to travel and wares to sell, but you'd best hurry along to the town nearby. Just head east through the trees and aim for the Shining Tower. You'll find the place soon enough. 'Tis the biggest settlement for malms around. Go on now, friend. They'll take good care of you in the Crystarium.
Mm-hmm. Amwald, if you're still watching this, I wouldn't worry about spoilers in this. By the time you finish all of the first 3 expansions, you'll have forgotten all about this by the time you get here.
To dizzying heights it rises, the gleaming spire. Its tip threatening to pierce the blinding canopy.
Its tips threatening to pierce. There's no euphemisms in that at all.
It will all begin anew.
Seems like there's a lot of towers
between
in this game.
dark and light.
Just saying.
The pure and the corrupt. The one true struggle.
ShadowBringers. Music is so amazing in this game. ShadowBringers. I probably should mark that down
Halt.
when that happened. 40 minutes.
Every face in this city I know. Yours, I do not.
Uh-oh, she's onto us.
From where do you hail?
Gardenia, the source. We're just gonna. I'm from Gardenia? I don't know. I feel like I'm
You
from
will not
Ul'dah.
say? Then I have even less reason to trust you.
She's pretty badass.
Had you given me an honest answer, I would not have barred your way. We care little here for a person's place of origin. But instead, you chose concealment. And I will not suffer you to pass. Ha!
She just one-shot a senator? I mean... That's pretty impressive.
That one had eaten. It must have gulped down the whole hand. Ring and all.
Aww.
Everything all right, Captain?
Quite all right, my lord. Just a stray sin eater, and a weak one at that.
Because
I see.
the bunny people
Weak
are
or not,
amazing.
we should be on the lookout for more.
I can't wait to be a bunny boy. Can't wait.
But I see you've met my guest. I will escort him to the Crystarium myself, if you've no objections.
Another of your mysterious fronts, is it? I should have known.
Yes, you should have.
Very well. I'll inform the others your guest is to be given the run of the city.
Haha.
Pray forgive my less than cordial welcome. May the rest of your stay with us be a pleasant one.
Bush eats crow well. She eats crow well.
Come with me. I will answer whatever questions you have when we are somewhere more private.
Like, who the F are you? What?
Right then, before we plunge into the wheres and wherefores, let me first thank you for answering my summons.
Like I had a choice.
I had intended to bring you directly to my personal quarters, but I fear my aim was slightly off. That you are still able to make the crossing unharmed is a great relief.
He was risking my life,
And
didn't
so,
even know.
we come to the question of where.
Didn't even ask.
The realm in which you now find yourself belongs to one of the 13 reflections, or shards. The first, to be precise, even if its inhabitants are largely oblivious to the fact. As to wherefore, having been awarded the rather grandiose title of Crystal Exarch, I, in my capacity as caretaker of the Crystarium, thought to seek the aid of you and your companions.
I mean... thought to seek the aid does not mean... Right. Do you have any idea how much trouble you've caused?
An inkling, yes. I can only beg your forgiveness. Matters here forced my hand. But all shall be explained in due course, I promise you.
I've never trusted this guy.
Let us begin with the glaring skies up above. Here in the first, the world has been all but consumed by primordial light. It began a century ago, by this realm's reckoning.
I feel like isn't light
A
supposed to be
luminous
good?
flood swallowing everything in its path. More than 9/10 of this star was lost.
9
And the fortunate few who survived are hounded by abominations born of that catastrophe even now. Sin Eaters, we call them.
Sad
The
days.
creature you saw earlier was one such monstrosity. It was to save the first from this menace that I learned to bridge the rift between worlds. That I might call upon the aid of the greatest of heroes.
Not unlike the
Though it
Horn
meant
of
depriving
Valir.
a world of its champion, I had to
References.
try. For in saving the first, you would bring salvation to the source as well. But what manner of host harangues his guests in the middle of the road? Let us
One
continue our
who-
talk within the Crystarium.
Teleports people randomly without their permission. I would say even kidnapping. Perhaps kidnapping? Was that the guard? Can we can I speak to an adult here? Rude. I'll say he apologized at least. That's a good thing.
Such a proud and vibrant city. The sole sanctuary for the living in a world all but resigned to oblivion. Each stone was laid with hope. The town itself a symbol. A monument to defiance in the face of death. No would-be hero could fail to answer its call. For who among us does not yearn for salvation?
Do people really yearn for salvation? I mean, like, if these people have lived like this for 100 years, they probably don't even realize there is a salvation. Like, that was... alright. We're gonna see if all the cutscenes are like this. If only the voiced ones are saved, that's gonna be awesome. I have never had the opportunity to just watch these all back to back to back.
Welcome to the Ocular, my private study. We can speak here without fear of being overheard.
With no furniture or anything?
I
Like,
have much to explain.
what does he do?
But the truths which I must touch upon in doing so would cause only distress and confusion to the people of this world. Pray keep that in mind. Now, I am sure you are desperate to know the fate of your fellow Scions. To put it simply, they are here in the first. Their arrival, however, was not as recent as you may imagine. Here, time flows at a different pace from that of the source. In the space of a single hour in your home world, an entire year might pass in the first, and the reverse could also be true. The pace fluctuates without rhyme or reason, and it cannot be predicted.
How convenient.
That said, we seem to be entering a period of near equivalence.
How also
And
convenient.
thus, for the moment, you need not overly concern yourself with the passage of time. As for your companions, however, Y'shtola and Urianger have dwelled here for 3 winters, all told, while Thancred's count stands at 5. Even our more recent arrivals, Alphino and Alize, have lived in the First for almost a year. My intention had been to summon only you, but the art of reaching across worlds has proven exceedingly difficult to master. Thus it was that my fumbling hand closed upon those to whom your fate is most closely bound as well. As they were not the object of my summons, their transference was incomplete. Though they may appear to possess corporeal bodies, they are in truth merely spirits that one can see and touch. Consequently, while you yourself will be able to pass between worlds with relative freedom,
there's someone for you to love in every storyline.
Much as it grieves me, they are stranded here.
I feel like maybe you should do the quest and be like, who is your bae in which order, and make you pick from each one, and be like, give you personality descriptions of why you picked that person. I forgot what the question was. I wasn't really paying attention. We're gonna assume it is. We want to find out what they've been doing all this time. Let's find out. We know what Y'shtola's been up to, Hussy. Urianger is probably the same way, exploring
himself. We spent every waking hour searching for a way to reverse the summoning. In the beginning, at least. As you may have surmised, however, our efforts met with little success. And then we all but abandoned the endeavor once Urianger shared with us the vision he had witnessed during his journey through the rift. In that chaotic no-man's land between realms, time and space warp and blend in unexpected ways. What Urianger saw was the future. That which would one day come to pass. In his vision of tomorrow, the First was rejoined with the Source.
We're gonna go for a little ride.
This collision of worlds brought about the 8th Umbral Calamity and the deaths of countless multitudes. Amongst those who perished, Urianger clearly saw the fall of the Scion's mightiest champion. He watched you die.
Oh no! Not me! Somebody has a raise!
And thus
Get a
did
raise!
the Scions embrace their exile, and began searching this world for a means to forestall the coming catastrophe in yours. Their souls are stranded in the First, yes, but they have fought on, desperate to save their home and you from destruction. Nor have their efforts been in vain, for it was they who finally established that the elimination of the Sin Eaters will indeed serve to prevent the calamity. Considering these circumstances of our meeting, you would be forgiven for doubting my version of events. And so, before all else, I would suggest you track down your comrades and hear the tale from their lips. I shall of course be happy to assist in these reunions, and you need not make any decisions regarding your involvement until you are certain of where you stand. Meanwhile, I promise I will not rest until I have found a way to help your friends return home.
I mean, does he not know that their bodies are still like hanging out?
Have I earned your trust for the moment, at least?
What if I just said no? Where are they? I'm gonna go. Oh right, for want of a better choice. I hold a grudge. You don't teleport people without their permission. It's just rude.
Excellent.
He did it 5 times.
You will not regret this. With that settled, we shall have to see about getting you ready for the road.
That's what they talk about your choices.
Traveling across the rift has no doubt left you weary.
You get the impression
I will
it
arrange for a
doesn't.
room where you might rest in comfort. While it's being prepared, perhaps I can show you around.
I don't know about you guys, but from the get-go, I get the idea this guy would love to show me around, if you know what I'm saying. Just from the get-go, I get that vibe. Is it just me? Crystallarium is a beautiful city, I will freely admit. Even though for a place that is so limited on space, it's got such wide hallways. Like, they could definitely be squeezing in more of
This
humanity
is the Musica
into
Universalis,
this city.
the commercial heart of the Crystarium. Aught you might need to prepare for your journeys can be purchased here.
Are you agreeing with me that he wants to show you around? Mm-hmm. Like, if that had been like a person asking me that in real life, I would assume this city tour would end in sex.
Ah, yes.
That's
You must be
the vibe
curious
I was
about the
getting off that
currency.
guy.
Fear not. The gil you carry will
Like,
serve you well
we're gonna
enough.
end up. The last stop on the tour is the house.
Each nation once minted its own
Come in for a
coins,
nightcap?
which was all a jumbled mess following the flood. After much
Which,
debate,
I'm not
the
complaining.
local
It's a good way to get
merchants
to know
eventually
somebody.
elected to revert to the old ways, wherein a coin's value was decided by the worth of its metal. As for a unit of measurement, we agreed upon the term gil, a word borrowed from coins uncovered within the Crystal Tower here. And as our traders peddled their wares across the land, so too did our usage of gil become common practice.
Yep.
From what your stola tells me, a standard coin from the source equates to exactly 1 gil here, or near enough, not to matter.
So
Our
basically,
way of
your
life has
currency is the
benefited
same.
greatly from the artifacts we recovered from the tower, some of which may be familiar to you.
Like, oh, they have tombstone vendors as well. That's so funny. Is that a joke at Rowena?
But I fear it would not be practical for us to provide everything to which you are accustomed. You shall need a means to access the commodities of your homeworld. A Van Kerm Sin?
God bless you.
Yes, I'm here. Of course I'm here. What amusements do you have for me today?
She's adorable too. I immediately
My
love
dear
her.
Feo Ul, paragon of pixie kind. For you, I have the most vital task. This fine gentleman is a friend from a distant realm.
Hi.
And we have need of a means to ferry things back and forth from his home. Might you be able to assist us in this matter?
Truth. She's a hoot. But with that outfit. Look at those shoes.
You came from beyond, didn't you? From beyond the rift. How wonderfully exciting. What a brave and reckless and marvelous thing you did. You've the heart of a pixie, you do. After careful consideration, I have decided to grant you my assistance. Make a pact with me and the fun can begin. But answer
Phrasing.
me this, traveler. Did your garments come with you when you crossed over? Your teeth? Your nails?
Yep, I think we got those.
Just as I thought! Then you've a good stout connection with your home through which all your belongings, great and small, may easily pass.
How convenient.
From this moment forth I will be your Isnefis, and you my Snayak. Like the
Snea.
branch which sprouts from the sapling, our bond will flow unbroken from one to the other.
Oh, that's a little clingy, but okay.
Raise your hand.
If it lets me get my stuff. They're like, yeah, you should do it. I mean, okay.
Tis done. We are bound now, dearest sapling. Come then. Make your request. Tell me your desire. I wish to visit this world of yours.
Mayhap her message to your friends in the source to inform them of your safe arrival.
Definitely send it to Tataru. Nobody cares about Kryl. Kryl doesn't care about us.
Consider it done.
Nobody likes Kryl. Meh.
As you heard, that was Feo Ul of the Pixies. Their kind possess an affinity for magic akin to that of arcane beings. They rarely show themselves in populated areas, but Feo is insatiably curious even by pixie standards, and seems to have taken a liking to the Crystarium. Right, we were going to organize a room for you, weren't we? Come along.
Feo. See, now he's taking us back to the room. What we called it? Called it. So it's gonna end at my room. I'm not even gonna get to see his place. That's rough. That means he has a shit place. I mean, but what a room. I think the Crystallarium has the best in-rooms in the game. Everybody goes to Gridania because that's a thing, but these are nicest. But you kind of get this feeling you're being watched. And at some point, you really want to close that window that I just opened. Just spoilers. I literally, every time I come to this Crystallarium, you feel like somebody's just gonna pop out of somewhere.
You're the warrior of light from the source.
He didn't even clean his axe, bro. I'm gonna go, and who are you? Because how am I supposed to know the warrior of darkness? Is there such a thing? Did I even know that was a thing?
You can hear me?
Yes. It's those beautiful blue eyes.
How long has it been?
I feel like he could be a contender for Bay in this chapter. And I'm sure that's like his object.
My name is Ardbert. In the first, I was a warrior of light. But in the source, you knew me as the warrior of darkness.
Oh, whoops. I guess I was supposed to know that guy.
If
Sorry.
you recall my
forgettable.
tale, it was my comrades and I who caused the flood. We thought our home doomed. And so we listened to the Ascians. Let them guide us to the source, and tried to hasten their goddamned ardor. I remember when we fell, defeated by you and yours. I remember our audience with Minfilia, how she listened to our pleas and returned our souls to the first. The flood was poised to swallow Norvrat. Minfilia and my friends, they surrendered what little they had left to hold it back. Just faded away, leaving me to bear witness. Tell me, do you know the year? How much time has passed since we caused the flood?
So I knew these things beforehand? When did I learn this information?
100 years. 100 long years.
This makes me want to have to go back and redo the whole thing. I should probably rewatch the whole storyline. How many more weeks do we have till Endwalker?
My hands find no purchase. My gestures catch no eye, and my pleas, be they whispered or screamed, reach not a single ear.
Until now.
I am a shade, cursed to do naught but drift.
Of course, I'd be lucky enough to see ghosts. I can see dead people.
I feel as if I've been walking forever.
Is there an emote
I hardly
for
noticed when my mind
exercise?
and body began to fray
Like,
at the edges.
Get some sage out.
Then bang! My senses were sharp again. I felt like a fish being reeled in, and before I knew it, I found myself in this room. Why is it that you can see me? What are you even doing here, come to that?
Being cooler than you.
You were summoned to save the First. A waste of time. This world is beyond saving, like those who try to save it.
Ooh, hashtag realism.
Muddled as my mind may be, I've not forgotten that. But if fate has brought me to you, the one person in this God's forsaken world who can see and hear me, then perhaps there is a reason I endured. If I can find out why I was left behind, then maybe I can bring this journey of mine to an end.
Mm-hmm. His 100-year wanderings.
Well, I'll be watching, Warrior of Light.
Creepy.
But do me a favor. Be careful out there. This world has had its fill of heroes.
So, wow, that's awesome. He's a ghost in our rooms. Has anybody seen that NBC show, Ghosts? Where she's the one girl that can see this house full of haunted people? I can't believe I slept in that room. I definitely feel like I would have spoke to somebody, but like, I need a better room. Can I have a not haunted room?
Ah, how did you find your new quarters?
Haunted!
I trust you were able to rest?
No. It feels like that they stole the plot from this at this point. That's what happened. What will you say? Well enough. Thank you. I had a ghostly visitor. Obviously, that's what I said. There was a ghost!
I was not aware the room was haunted, and you were rather tired. Well, should you receive another visitation, be sure to let me know.
He doesn't believe me!
Now, let us return to the subject of the Scion.
How rude! He doesn't believe me.
This map shows the lands of Norvrat, the only area to be spared the flood of light.
Why?
The Crystarium is here, in the region known as Lakeland. To the north is the fairy kingdom of Il-Meg. That is where you'll find Urianger. To the east lies the once prosperous civilization of Rak-Tika. Your Stola is stationed there, in the heart of the forest. Alas, neither location can be reached without considerable difficulty. As such, I would suggest you first seek out one of the twins, each of whom is stationed but a short flight from the Crystarium. Alphino is on Calusia, an island off the western shore. It is home to a city called Yulmore, where the rich and privileged while away their days in idleness. For his part in furthering our cause, Alphino journeyed there to meet with the citizenry and forge alliances. From what I hear, he has since kept himself busy gathering information around the main settlement. Alize, meanwhile, traveled south to the arid wastes of Armareng. They lie upon the very edge of the inhabitable world, where the flood of light was halted. Those who dwell there live in constant fear of attack by the Sin Eaters.
Constant fear, sad days.
In contrast to her brother, Alize felt that her energies would better be spent learning about the enemy, and thus she sells her services as a guard, both to hone her skills and gather information on our foe.
Scary Alize. And as much as I make fun of Alize, I feel like I identify
So,
with her
will it
most
be
as a
Calicia
character.
or Armorang? It matters not which you choose to visit first. Simply inform me once you've made your decision, and I will see to it that you are provided with a suitable mount. Ah, but you must be wondering about Thancred. He has taken up with a new companion, and is presently engaged as a wandering hunter of sin-eaters. Being ever on the move, his whereabouts are often difficult to ascertain, but I am certain your paths will cross ere long.
What he's trying to say is Thancred gets around. Be like, oh, you ain't gotta worry about finding Thancred. Thancred'll find you. I guess we went to Alphaned. It probably doesn't matter. I would have probably gone to ascertain the enemy situation myself if I was in Alize's
The whistling
situation.
breeze, mute. The pounding surf, frozen. Time itself takes a breath. At light's edge, all is perfectly still. The world captured in a painting, locked in a moment.
Whose voice is that that we hear?
Faint and fleeting, drifts coastward on the lifeless air.
The Exarch?
And in the distance, beyond the broken earth, a city beckons.
Kalusia. And what a city. What a weird city. Like, who thought of that? Just, who comes up with these things?
And how is business today, Mistress Theva?
Oh, frenetic. Look, I have a new customer.
Frenetic. I don't even know what that word means. And in context, it could mean several things.
'Tis good to see you, my friend.
Like, it seems like it has the roots of frantic, maybe?
The barley seeds you wanted. They should produce a better harvest than the last.
Says snooty Alphino.
What, just like that? Oh, Alphino, you really are a dear. Well, I'd best be tidying up some of those empty shacks before the pests move in.
And he's
Keep an eye
wearing
on the place
level
while I'm
60
out, eh?
gathering gear. That's one of the things I love about this game is consistency in outfits. Like, that's NPC gear you buy at level 60 in Ralgar's Reach. For gatherers. Something with an S.
It seems an age since last we spoke. Not since the prisoner exchange in Doma. And Yotsuyu.
Yotsuyu.
It has been even longer for me, of course, if you count the days I've spent here. But the time has only added to the relief I feel seeing you safe and well.
Aw. I was more worried about you. You've been lying dead in a bed for weeks.
Huh. Alize said much the same thing. I don't think I've ever had such a scolding.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But I believe an exchange of news is in order. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before.
I like the verbiage. Come, tell me of your arrival and all that came before. Like, it's very Englishy. I like it.
I see.
Love an English accent.
Both the Exarch and Alize told me what they knew of events, but I had stubbornly clung on to the hope that all-out war might yet be avoidable. And poor Tataru. She must be sick with worry. We must endeavor to return as soon as we may. It would be nice to bring her good tidings for a change. But before we bid this world farewell, we must first ensure that it is not rejoined to the source. We must prevent the 8th Umbral Calamity. Urianger's vision of the future has, I fear, every chance of coming true. By his description, the catalyst for the Calamity was a formless and deadly weapon employed by the Garlean Empire.
Of course it was. Overarching good and evil Garlean Empire is
which can
evil.
only mean one thing. Black Rose. Gaius was telling you the truth. When we were on the trail of the Ascians, we saw evidence that the gas was being manufactured once more.
It seems like there should be a song called Black Rose.
Gaius was adamant that the project had been scrapped.
It is, however,
but so long as there are wars to be waged, there will always be those determined to win by any means. And thus simply destroying the existing stores of Black Rose would do little to alter fate's course.
No bueno.
In that sense, our involuntary journey here to the First was something of a boon. Together with the Exarch, we've developed a theory as to how we believe the rejoining will be set in motion. I'm sure Urianger himself will cover the subject in more detail.
I'm sure he will.
But I can tell you the process requires that both worlds, the Source and the First, be facing an existential threat. One being Sin Eaters, of course. They are a menace that I would dearly love to remove, and not just to avert a calamity. I may be a stranger to this world, but I will not stand idly by and let innocent people be slaughtered. That is what brought me to the gates of Yulmore. Ignoring its pretensions as a kind of capital city to what remains of the world, it is nonetheless a center of power and authority. If any solutions are to be found, I believe our search should begin there. What say you, old friend? Hungry for another adventure? And so we take to the road once more.
Of course we do. Even though we have teleportation crystals. I mean, I guess the first time you did actually have to walk. You're like, pretty city, but squalls in front of it.
That gate up ahead is known as the Open Arms, and Yulmore itself lies beyond. This, meanwhile, is the aptly named Gate Town, the dwelling place of the many desperate souls who hope to be chosen to live in the city proper.
Oh, spoilers, spoilers. I want to say some things so bad. Spoilers, spoilers. I try not to spoil this, but I don't want to spoil.
I thought I recognized you.
You know.
Brought a new friend, eh?
Begrimed bloke.
I'll bet you got a trick or two up your sleeve. Maybe even 3. Care to show me?
He's not here to compete. Leave him be.
What? I was only making conversation.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please!
Free food.
Greetings to our hopeful petitioners, one and all. Yulmore extends its warmest regards. Let it be known that a lady of distinction wishes to dine on fish divine. We seek a master culinarian man who can guarantee seafood perfection. Dazzle the matron with your delicious dishes, and life in the city will be yours to enjoy, even on days when fish is not on the menu! Who among you will answer the call? Name yourself or another. We might not at all.
Fish, is it?
Was there anyone?
What about that girl?
Do you recall how I said Yulmore was a center of power and authority? Well, that is not the only reason for its fame. It is also known as the City of Final Pleasures. The noble and the wealthy who survived the flood gathered here to live out the rest of their days in decadent abandon. A poor man could sooner pass through the Iron Needle than Yulmore's gates. The only way the common folk can enter this perverted paradise is if they fulfill the whim of one of the privileged. And so they are picked over like market produce.
Hashtag capitalism.
What a catch! We'll not be throwing this one back. Having seen your all too obvious charms, we welcome you with open arms. Come, join us in the City of Splendor and live out your life in an ecstasy of endeavor. Oh, just look at those expectant faces. What could you possibly be waiting for? Well, what have we here? An extra share of meal to celebrate our newest resident!
Treats.
For you.
Ah, at last!
Enjoy!
Thank goodness.
Over here!
Meal is a foodstuff which Yulmore routinely doles out to the people of Gatetown, and apparently a staple for its citizens as well. Many here rely on it to survive in these times of scarcity, yet the whole arrangement just seems...
off.
Let's just say it leaves a bad taste in my mouth.
Spoilers. This is entertaining. I'm glad I redid this. You get to see things from a different perspective. Uh-oh. She's got a lady bone or two. I feel it. I know that look all too well. A fickle existence. I'm gonna go back down for another ride.
There you are.
Fickle existence.
The thief who claims the harvest on my behalf. Hand it over.
Well,
oh, there's my favorite.
Forgive me. I have to get into the city. I have no family and all my friends have already been chosen. No one here gives a damn about me. When the meal gets handed out, I'm lucky if I get a smell of it. No matter what I do, they won't call out my name. I'm so tired, I'm so bloody hungry. I thought maybe I could steal your idea, get in that way.
What is your name?
Kai Shear.
Tell me then, Kai Shear, must it be Yulmore or nothing? What of the Crystarium? They may not offer charity, but you would be fairly compensated for any work you did.
No, it has to be Yulmore. That's where all my friends are. We made a promise that we'd live together in paradise.
my true twin, really.
I was to make my deal with the Ondo at the Clave. Listen carefully, and I shall tell you my plans for the business, and how best to arouse the Ulmoran's interest.
Mind you,
You'll
I
give me your place?
have had the same
like
character since day one. So
I'm giving you a chance, nothing more.
I
What
existed
comes of it is
before
entirely up to you.
this kitty cat.
I understand. Oh, thank you, thank you!
I feel like he's got like a smaller head or something, or maybe he's got bigger arms. Definitely much better calf muscles. Like, he's a little bit more well-defined than me, darker of skin.
This was but one path. There will be others. But for young Kaishia, it was the difference between life and death.
Oh, because he has not
I do not regret my decision. Yet I will admit that a part of me wonders if it was for the best. We strive to bring swift salvation to this world. That countless lives might be saved, not least your own. Even if it came at the cost of one man, should I have forged on regardless?
No, that's definitely not who you are, Alphino. You might be a dweeb, but you're a good guy.
I suppose not. Were Estinian here, he would most likely scoff at my soft-heartedness.
Same old Alphino, ever the slave to sentiment.
But I thank you for your kind words nonetheless. Let us see to it that both these stories have a happy ending.
By the sound of the music, it's
Shall we
probably
return to
going
write,
to
then?
be a happy ending. Just for the record.
Is that? I can't be sure, but I think someone's in trouble.
It does look like a body on the beach.
Come on, they may need our help.
I mean, I guess we do have a raise spell. That's fair.
Redemption is beyond us.
I guess we didn't find out. There must have been like a side quest that wasn't relevant because I don't remember who we went to rescue either.
The lament of all but saints and fools, and the comfort of the lords and ladies of this accursed place.
Somebody's passed out on the bar.
Once
Oh,
they
it's
held
a
fast
beehive.
against the madness, only to embrace the coming cataclysm and delight in the end of days.
I love the music. The artistry.
Perhaps in rapture they seek to lose themselves and the misery they share. Or perhaps for them alone, the promise of eternal pleasure really does hold true.
I'm trying to say if we missed some, but no. All right. So we got in because Alphino has art skills for this lady wanted her portrait painted.
Oh, who's this then?
Lord and Lady Chai, pray forgive our intrusion. I am given to understand you were in search of an artist.
Of an artist.
Ah, you must be the new,
Oh, goodness me! What an adorable boy! That silken hair, those pearly cheeks, oh, and you even smell wonderful, like a bed of flowers.
What the fuck?
I approve of this one, dearest. I am positive he will paint us the most delightful pictures.
yes. Well, as long as he paints better than that talentless wretch we sent packing last week.
Oh dear.
Wonderful, wonderful. Welcome to Yulmore.
Alphino, if it please you, my lady. And this is my assistant.
Your assistant? I've heard of folk bringing in family members, but this seems a bit irregular. Aren't you a little young to have a protege?
We are family in all but name, my lord. Though we share no blood, we have stood by each other through life's many challenges, resolved to prevail together or not at all. Of all people, 'tis he who best understands my work. With his unique insight guiding my hand, the art I create is sure to satisfy your expectations.
So snooty.
Once the picture is begun, of course, I shall have no need of constant encouragement. And so I wondered, rather than him being in your way, might it then be permissible for my assistant to explore the city he has so longed to see? Out of gratitude for his priceless contribution to my art, I thought it only fair that I make this humble request on his behalf.
Wow. Ice to an Eskimo,
Did you
that
ever
one.
hear of such devotion? Of course your assistant must have his wish. He shall be free to roam to his heart's content. Isn't that right, darling?
Oh, yes. Yes, of course, dearest. Quite right.
Oh, spoilers! Spoilers! Emergent Splendor. Ooh, it's getting serious. You can tell by the music change. This is gonna be a serious scene. Look at the way he's walking and dressed. He's dressed for battle.
That's him. That's Vorthri.
Fat ass. I feel like it's very Trumpian-esque hair. Like, is it a euphemism for Trump?
He's attended by sin eaters. But how does he keep them from attacking?
Mercy! Mercy!
By the 12. Kaishia, what happened to you?
Who are these impudent louts? I do not recall requesting their presence.
Lord Vorthri, what is the meaning of this? Why is this poor man bleeding to death on your floor?
Especially when both of us had healing magic.
You ask me why?
I would have probably just
Because
discreetly
criminals
casted
must
Regain
be
on him from the
punished.
side.
And
Just
this
ching
man
Regain.
is guilty of fraud. He came to us claiming to be a man of business.
Yet his subsequent conduct has shown him to be anything but.
Uh-oh.
Yulmore is a city built on love for one's fellow man. Those who have naught to give and live only to take are a blight upon our society!
Capitalism.
To atone for this crime, I ordered that he fling himself from the balcony. And he had the temerity to weep. Please, my lord, anything but that. What then is a man of mercy to do, but offer the sinner another way to show his contrition?
Another way? Meaning what exactly?
Sin-eaters are part of Yulmore's society, but they must be fed with ether. Living ether. So, I demanded an offering of flesh, carved by his own hand, from his own hide. And still, he could not do as I asked. A wholly unsatisfactory performance.
Tis true that Kaishia won his place here by fraud, but his actions were driven only by a desire to share in your paradise. That you would cast him out I could almost accept, but to humiliate him thus, to demand his very life? Is this truly the way of Yulmore?
Everybody's like, yeah, that's how it rolls here. We were all standing around watching him getting cut.
Dim, deluded child. Have you ever paused to consider what it takes to maintain such a paradise in this barren, broken world of ours?
Often.
The guarantee of safety and stability. The knowledge that if one only abides by the rules, one has naught to fear.
Spoilers.
I alone can
I never noticed that before.
these things, for I alone can command the Sin-Eaters. And thus am I alone the voice of justice, and any who oppose me, villains to be punished.
Look at his tiny little legs.
And people call this paradise.
You were granted a place in my city for a particular skill. What was it?
Painting.
Oh, an artiste! Then you shall paint a picture for me of Yulmore. If I find your art pleasing, then I may excuse this display of insolence.
I mean, but he let him bleed on the floor for like 5 minutes while he went on a tirade.
Who gave you permission to tend to that criminal's wounds? I told you to paint me a picture!
What you need is a mirror, not a painting. It will capture the horror I see before me far better than I ever could.
Burn! Sick burn, bro!
Can you walk?
I think so.
I mean... Wait. Sometimes I really don't get the whole healing. And you just left the knife and blood on the floor? I feel like...
Did that little worm just insult me? of their minds! Torment them! Torture them! Then tear out their hearts!
Well. Foreshadowing. And after that, we took Kaisar out of the city. And then apparently...
Arang.
I decided to go visit Alize.
From this parched earth, the nation of Nabath, Arang, once rose. When I journeyed here, long ago, I spoke with a sun-weathered elder.
A sun-weathered elder?
He told me
Shut up.
Arang meant majestic land in the language of his people.
I could see it. I feel like Amarang is kind of
so
like
it might still be
Colorado.
Were it
of
not for the
Eorzea.
light's unrelenting onslaught.
Because it's got all the mountains and rock formations and such. Like it's pretty, you know, in a rocky kind of way. That was a monster, not a beer. Even though I kind of wish it was a beer. My boy. So this is Mord? Ow.
Master Gengen, this is the friend of the Exarch I was telling you about.
Very good, very good. Though friend or no, all are welcome in Mordsook.
Souk is Mordish for city. As things stand, this souk boasts the largest and busiest marketplace in all Armarang. You'll find ore from the mines here, of course, but all manner of other things too, many of them rare. As I told you before, not many visit Armarang by choice, but Mordsook's a different story. Merchants come from miles around to purchase the relics the Mord dig up.
Aye, that they do. For Mord do not dismiss the spoils of the earth. We clean them and polish them and reveal to the world their true value. That is why they come here, come from far away, come with much money. And so our souk is always busy, busy, busy. No such thing as a thing no one needs.
These are
You say that
the
every
Ferengi.
time, Master Gengen. Some sort of family motto, wasn't it? Or perhaps
It's my
a Mord
second
philosophy,
monster.
for which we should all be very grateful. Would that
Back as you
everyone
said, I
was so willing
understand
to
the
take in
monster.
refugees
My
regardless of
fourth
race
cup
or
of coffee.
creed.
I wish Monster would sponsor me with just free monsters.
Now
I had to
then,
get all the shitty
if you
shitty
intend to
flavored
spend
ones
any time here,
because,
you'll want to gain the trust
know,
of
the
the
shortages.
locals. And there's a
So,
little
yeah,
custom all
it's fun
newcomers are expected to observe.
The cracking of the coin purse. You buy one thing from the market. Price can be low or high, just as long as you buy.
As the good Maud says. In fact, the Exarch sent a little something to cover this very expense. A Verbert gold piece, no less. The first I've held in years.
Verbert gold? Real Verbert gold?
Here, newcomer, crack your coin purse with me.
No, no, you want my goods, newcomer. I have jars and pots all smooth and shiny.
Over here! Come and look!
You buy, you buy?
I would be very stressed out at the situation if it was like happening to me in real life. I'd be like, I hate pushy salespeople.
Come, I say.
Hate pushy
This one
salespeople.
must still journey through the barrens. Nothing bulky, nothing heavy, no pots. Nothing better for the road than a full belly. Spend that piece at Ronron's place, yes? Eat for 3 before you leave.
this is just more Final Fantasy storytelling. Like, this is obviously not relevant to our current quest storyline, but he probably has some other something to play. Apparently we never found Alize, but we had to go to there anyway. Now we're literally looking for signs in the ground for her. Like, which way did this hooker go? I hope you wash your sunglasses. Yeesh. I apparently found a footprint in the sand that led me to believe they went to the top of that mountain.
Get back here!
Oh, she was up there.
Is that... It can't be.
I feel like she needs to keep her eyes on the prize, yeah. You almost lost that one. Didn't keep your eyes on the prize.
I had it under control, right up until the moment I didn't. I'll do better next time.
Mm-hmm.
I knew you'd turn up sooner or later, but I had been hoping for sooner.
It's not my fault time works weird. Why'd they just show off her legs? Like, what was the point of that? They're like...
How are you?
Just 100% sexualized her right there. 100%. Not this game isn't full of sexual overtones, and undertones for that matter, but that was blatant. Start at the legs and worked your way up.
We've fought them to a standstill then. The Exarch did say that the Empire seemed to have drawn back when he last looked in on the source. But without knowing for sure how fast time was passing there, I couldn't help worrying that a lot might have happened since then.
Truth.
I'm heartily relieved to hear that it hasn't, just as Alphino must have been. As you can imagine, both he and Urianger were desperate to hear the news from home when I arrived. I haven't actually seen Thancred and Y'shtola yet, but they will have heard all the latest developments from the Exarch by now, or should have at least.
So, well, been over a year since we last heard. Not like
when I think of how frantic Kataru and the others must be, I want nothing more than to rush back and reassure them. But we still haven't found a way to reverse the summoning, and even if we had, we couldn't just ignore Urianger's vision.
And we can send him a message to let him know you're cool.
He may use 10 words where 1 would suffice, and they may often obscure as much as they reveal.
Thancred. I mean,
but on this
Urianger.
matter, he was as clear as day. I do not doubt for one moment that he saw what he claims. Nor how difficult it must have been to speak about them. The 8th Umbral Calamity and your death aren't exactly topics for idle conversation.
It's fair.
As much as I might want to go home, I don't want to go home to that. We can't allow the rejoining to happen, which means we have to save the first from the Sin Eaters. That great wall of white is a remnant of the Flood. 100 years ago, the balance in the first tipped decisively in favor of light. From that moment, it rose and swelled with each passing day, and then, without warning, it burst forth like water from a broken dam.
From where?
A colossal wave of pure light, drowning everything in its wake. Only Norvrat was spared. For the most part, living things are composed of ether of various different aspects. But when exposed to such a flood, their etheric harmony is shattered, and their natural form breaks down. Then they either perish, or are warped into mindless abominations. Yes, that's how the Sin Eaters came to be. They were once living creatures, or people, that were caught in the path of the Flood. Once the change is wrought, there is no going back.
This is an
In
important
that
part.
instant, they are gripped by an insatiable appetite for ether and will happily gorge themselves on any living thing within reach. But even
Sin
that is
Eaters
not the
are
worst of
human.
it. The stronger Sin Eaters can plant light in us, like seeds in soil, corrupting our ether and triggering the birth of new monstrosities. They are creatures of base instinct that exist only to feed and to multiply. They feel no pity, know no remorse, and are utterly deaf to reason. Which is why they must be destroyed. Every last one of them. The infirmary is full of the Sin Eaters' victims, left here to spend their final hours waiting for the change to overtake them.
Rough. Purchase a fruit. I like how they usually lighten it up after a heavy scene like that. It's usually a lighter with next.
Look, over there, where the wall is broken. Do you see what lies beyond? That's what the land became after the light flooded in. An empty white nothingness. Life cannot exist in such conditions. The primordial light would wreak havoc on the body's etheric balance.
They would become Sin Eaters, basically.
That nectarine you bought. It's Halric's favorite fruit.
That's why it was important that I had to go there.
Most of the patients, Halric included, survived the attacks of powerful eaters. But their fate was sealed all the same. The monster's corruption has entered their bodies, and their very essence is being subsumed by light.
Subsumed.
The twisted state of the world itself just makes matters worse. Under normal circumstances, a person's ether naturally tends to equilibrium. But for these poor souls, the opposite is true.
Aww.
Sooner or later, every single one of them will turn.
Unless you can find a way to stop them. Should that be
Tesleen
something?
and the patients, they all know this. They know what has to be done before the change goes too far, before the eater within takes over. The preferred method is mixing poison into their favorite food. In my time here, I've borne witness to a lot of last meals.
That's so sad.
I feel just as helpless as before. No matter how hard I fight, it's never enough. But it's a war I mean to wage, nonetheless. Speaking of wars, do you remember how I made you promise not to leave me and then promptly collapsed?
Yes.
Well, let's just say I had a few choice words for the Exarch concerning the timing of his summons.
Don't leave me and then collapse.
But even if the fault lay with someone else, I couldn't shake the feeling that I'd abandon you on the battlefield. So I swore that I'd make up for my absence there by making a difference here.
Coping.
And that's what keeps me moving forward, even when things seem hopeless.
Gotta do something.
On which note, it's time we headed back. The longer we keep Tesleen waiting, the harder this will be for her.
Sad days. I do remember this part of the storyline. Because for some odd reason, everybody was talking about it when it first came out. They were like, oh, the Alize story. I mean, like, it's heart-wrenching. It's heart-wrenching. Heart-wrenching. Oh, I think I just redid the same one. I did indeed. Actually, it sounds like I have something outside. Hold a moment, dear friends. Somebody here. That was my solar connectors. Ooh, it's a good time to take a break anyway. It's a good time to remind anybody out there who is not already following me to do so. For more Final Fantasy content, strategy games, so on and so forth, the like. I forgot to put it back onto the thing. You probably actually want to watch the gameplay, right? Ha ha, ha ha. Welcome back. If you're just joining us, I'm Firefly 2018, and we're playing Final Fantasy. We're playing it through the storyline, so we can catch up with ShadowBringers, because a lot of this I have forgotten, and Endwalker is soon to be upon us.
Speak up if you'd like another helping. I made a little bit more than usual today.
And you've added something special to the broth, if I'm not mistaken.
Aye, well, it's not often we have visitors from the Crystarium, so I may have thrown in a few extra bits and bobs.
I guess I will accept her hospitality since she made it specially for me. That's how you end up fat, just saying.
That's what I like to hear.
In virtual world, I can get away with it.
In a place like this, you learn to take what moments of happiness you can get.
It's probably a very sad world she lives in.
I remember when I first came here with my mother. She was showing the early signs. I knew there was no way to save her, but I just couldn't face what needed to be done. That's the way of it for most people. Why they travel from arms to stay here. Beaten, broken souls come to wait out the inevitable, to receive the mercy of a painless death.
Sad. So sad. But does seem like a bit of a wasted trip.
When my mother finally left this world, I was mad with grief, but also thankful that her passing was a peaceful one. It's never easy, ending a life you've cared for, even when you believe they go on to a better place. I often find myself wishing the Warrior of Darkness would come and do that part for me.
The Warrior of Darkness?
You've never heard the tale? I'm not sure where it began, but every child in Norvrat could tell you a version of it.
you not know we're from a different world?
Warrior of darkness, servant of death, take care of our souls at our dying breath. Let sinners and eaters of sin go with thee, that all may return to the sunless sea. Well, that's the version I was taught anyway. It's just an old bedtime story. He's certainly never deigned to visit us here.
Which is a good thing, surely. He sounds rather ominous.
Not when the light is your enemy.
Do you think so? I always liked the idea that he treated every soul the same, even the Sin Eaters.
Uh-oh, that can't be good.
They're coming.
Desleen! Have you seen Halric? I swear, I only took my eyes off him for a moment.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. No. Is somebody else here?
Any sign of him? No luck then. But he surely can't have gone far. We should keep looking. The Sin Eaters are out in force, and if we don't find him soon, you can be sure they will.
Looks like my mother's friend.
Did you see the size of that thing? It must be one of the nasty ones. Wherever it's going, it can only mean trouble. After it!
There it is! Is that... Oh no!
I mean...
Halric!
We have to run!
Desleen! No!
That's some messed up shit right there. That's some messed up shit right there.
We all deserve happiness, wherever we can find it. The time left to you is precious. No one should die in pain.
She says
Mother,
with a sword
Mother,
in her chest. That was painful. That was painful. And that cold, impassionless stare. On their eye. Oh my god, creepy! Creepy! Oh, creepy. Oh, the tongue lolling. Oh, creepy.
No, 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 no!
And the other one just flies off.
Forgive me, Alice.
Aww. That's messed up. That's messed up. Messed up. That's messed up.
And so you return. Have you gained a better understanding of the crisis now faced by the First?
Vividly.
Better is not the word I would use. Some lands may have been spared the flood, but the survivors live only to suffer. There seems no end to the horrors inflicted by the Sin Eaters.
Does seem a little...
Indeed. Those abominations are a calamity in their own right. And I can well imagine how hopeless the task of eradicating them must seem to you. But after countless battles and untold sacrifice, we have identified a potential weakness. Sin Eaters are drawn to serve the strongest of their kind, a class of creature we call Light Wardens. And from what we have been able to ascertain, only a handful of these entities exist. Just as an ant colony will perish in the absence of its queen, we believe that the death of a Light Warden will cause the lesser creatures within its sphere of influence to disperse.
I have a feeling Yulmor might have something to say about any concerted action we take against these monsters. Voltra's command over the Sin Eaters is integral to Yulmoran society. In seeming to guarantee his people's safety, it guarantees their obedience.
I mean...
He will not take kindly to us depriving him of such useful allies.
Agreed. Thus we will need to occupy or otherwise divert his forces whilst we proceed with the business of eliminating the Wardens. Until we have done so, all other considerations must be set aside if we are to forestall the 8th Umbral Calamity.
I definitely understand it. It's very Wheel of Time-esque, kill a Murdral, and its Trollocs die.
Your uncertainty is understandable, given the circumstances. Perhaps a more detailed explanation is in order. To begin at the beginning, then.
To begin at the beginning? Why did you not begin at the beginning? Why are they beginning in the middle?
In the ancient past, a single star was divided into 14 worlds.
Did he just have like a lisp? Did that just happen?
This is the source, your home. These others are the 13 shards, in whose number we find the first. Though physically separate, they retain a connection to each other, and with the source especially. Now, let us assume that a given element in one of the shards attains abnormal ascendancy. Just as water will flow from the highest point to the lowest, the excess energy will begin trickling into the source. And such an influx of ether will of course exert a palpable influence. If the element in question were fire, then drought and wildfires might ensue. If it were ice, one might expect the weather to turn bitterly cold. As ether continues to pour in, such phenomena will become more and more extreme, until eventually, A single, untimely event triggers a disaster which cracks the barrier dividing the two worlds.
That seems bad.
What was once a trickle now becomes a deluge, sweeping the shard along to be rejoined with the source. At the same time, the element which held sway in the shard is unleashed in full, its energies amplifying the original disaster to truly catastrophic proportions. An earthquake thus magnified might strike with enough force to shatter continents. A tidal wave might swell to a size capable of drowning entire nations. These devastating events are what we refer to as Umbral Calamities. 7 times has a calamity befallen the source. 7 times has a shard been absorbed.
Oh, so every astral calamity has been when one of the shards has been destroyed of the source. So I mean, like, we've already lost 7 worlds out of the 13. So if they all get destroyed, won't they all, like, balance out? Because we'll have equal amounts of all of them, like... We'll have extra, but at least it'll be in equal amounts.
At present, the light-drowned realm of the First stands perilously close to meeting the conditions for a rejoining. It is the Sin Eaters who are to blame for the Light's continued dominance. In addition to attracting their lesser kin, the Light Wardens I mentioned earlier radiate ether, saturating every corner of their territory with light. Even here in the flood-spared region of Norvrat, their influence is strong enough to banish night from the sky. Thus, if we are to restore balance to the First and head off a potential calamity, it is imperative that we put each and every Light Warden to the sword.
Okay. You gotta tell me twice. You didn't have to tell me the first time, really. Just go.
We've
point
been
me what
doing
to
our
kill.
best to take the fight to the enemy ever since we first heard the Exarch's explanation.
Though we have yet to claim any meaningful victories if truth be told. Apart from being confoundingly elusive, the Light Wardens possess a troublesome quality which compelled us to delay our plans until such time as you arrived.
Forgive the interruption, my lord, but Hallminster Switch is requesting reinforcements. They say the Sin Eaters are attacking in force, and the village could soon be overrun.
Well, that's not good.
Alert the guard. We should be prepared in case the fighting reaches the Crystarium. You have command of our forces in the field, Captain, but hold off on entering the town until I arrive. That goes for Alphino and Alize as well.
My lord.
Pray, lend us your strength. Such a fight will provide you with far greater insight than any explanation I could offer.
And off to fighting we go. Did I finish all that? No, there's another one. Oh, several more actually. In this particular quest series. That was the one we just had to go kill. That was the first Light Warden. He was a bitch. Spins around a lot.
It's releasing its ether! Fall back! We cannot let it touch us! Quickly, my lord, we must withdraw!
That will not be necessary, Captain. Though I appreciate your concern. The eternal light of these creatures has confounded us for nigh on 100 years. For each we have put down, another has risen up in its place, born of the self-same ether relinquished by its predecessor. But now we have a way to contain that corruption.
That's my job.
The blessing of light, and the hero who wields it now stands before you.
And that's why I needed to be here, to suck up all the extra light. Maybe we can restore Hydaelyn with all this extra light that we're stealing from the source. Or from Norvrat. Ooh, it tickles. Thanks for your support, Bats. I may very well make this into a YouTube video as well, for anybody who didn't get to see it in person. I feel like it's fun, just rewatch all this.
Behold! The monster's power is broken, and the world, twisted by its touch, returns to its rightful form.
The first time they've seen the night sky in 100 years. I feel like there'd be a lot of people freaking out. Like, kids that have never seen the light before, like never, I mean 100 years, most people alive probably haven't seen what nighttime looks like. That's, interesting concepts. It does make you wonder why they already have all these lights and stuff, right? Like, if you never had night for 100 years, why would you invest in making light fixtures? You feel like the whole world would just be like, oh my god, we can't see anything! We don't have any lights!
It's gone.
It can't be.
You know, in a world full of, like, scarce resources, why would you waste it on building lights in a place full of endless daylight?
It's so beautiful.
Logic.
The sunless sea. The warrior of darkness has come.
Hi. I definitely prefer the title Warrior of Darkness. Oh, maybe I should have done this as Samurai, because what job quest was introduced in this way was Samurai, right? No. Which was the job quest that you picked up at 70? I don't think there was one, right? Who was the Warrior of Light during ShadowBringers? Because he's going to be a Paladin and Endwalker. But this was Stormblood, like they got this from the Mideast. I truly don't know. But I feel like mixing it up to show off some of my glams. I guess we could do Paladin. Can't do it while occupied. Boo. I just remember which one we're on. Well, I'll do the last one in this one. I don't want to change clothes mid-scene. Make it look awkward.
Is that what I think it is?
The night sky. As it should be.
Who are you people? You killed a warden, then bathed in its ether as if it were a spring shower, and now the sky? The legends are true.
Now we see why we like her. Who are you people? Good answer. Good answer.
My lord?
How many years have I waited for this moment?
I feel like his feet
For
are
the one
disproportionately
possessed
big
of
for
her
him.
blessing. For you. You have vanquished the Light Warden of Lakeland, and for the first time in a century, darkness has returned to the mantle of night. Without the ever-present light to sustain them, the Sin Eaters will have no choice but to retreat.
Bye, bitch.
Yet our victory is far from complete. Though darkness has fallen here, the other wardens yet bask beneath burning skies, feasting upon what little life remains. Even should it cost me all I have, I would see each and every one of them slain, that this world might be spared from oblivion. Not only for the first, but for the source as well. Save one, and we save the other. But, be that as it may, I concede it was wrong of me to summon you to this fight against your will.
True.
I swear, on my life, I will one day atone for that deed, but for the present, I beg you stay and see this fight to its conclusion. Cast down the wardens and restore darkness to the first.
Ooh, he's gotten glowier. It seems like I have no choice but to fight. I mean, like, he apologizes, but I'm still stuck here, and I might as well do it while I'm here. You know?
On behalf of the first,
gotta
I
save those
offer you my deepest
teleportation
thanks.
skill. We just finished the whole storyline while I'm in Norvrat.
I understand there is much at stake here, Exarch.
It'll probably be like that when we
Why
all
do
go to
you
the
risk
moon
yourself
in
so
Walker.
readily?
We're gonna be like,
It must have been a dangerous
I'm just gonna
drain
stay
on
the
your
moon.
ether
It
to
costs
summon even
10,000
one person
gil to
across the
transfer
rift.
here, so
I do it for my people, of course. To give the Crystarium the tomorrow it deserves.
That is true now, yes, but the city had yet to be built when you first called forth the Crystal Tower. I'm simply curious to know what prompted you to commit yourself so completely to this particular course.
good question. I've been thinking this the whole time. Right, because couldn't you have tried to scientifically use your
There
magic to
are
fix other ways?
Things which we can ill afford to lose. And I sensed from the first that I had a part to play in preserving them. Forgive me. I fear the events of the day may have taken their toll. Despite appearances, I am an old man. One burdened with many difficult memories, some too painful to recall.
He doesn't look that old.
Well then, I'm sorry for pressing you. It's a family failing, I'm afraid.
One which has served us well more often than not. Needless to say, we will continue to fight at your side until the last Sin Eater is defeated.
Come then, my warriors of darkness. Let us gather the surviving villagers and make our way back to the Crystarium.
Back to the Crystarium. Okay, so we're going Warrior of Darkness, but I feel like showing off some other glams is really what I just want to change it up a little. Put on our warrior shoes. I still hate these shoes. But I mean, it's the only kind of flip-flop. Hawaii for life. It went way back. Warrior of Darkness. See? Now we're back to the inn room. Creepy creeptascular. It's exciting that there's night back. Doodle creep.
So it's your lot's turn to be the Warriors of Darkness, is it?
It's your lot's
It's
turn.
funny how things work out.
Been watching me, have you, you creeper?
Well, I did warn you. I followed you to Yulmore and then on to Armarang. And I was there when you slew the Light Warden.
Not sure that makes it better.
Those white-haired twins who were with you. I remember them from our battle in the Source. Are they your friends then? Through thick and thin? Aye. Then I suggest you keep them close. It's when you charge ahead trying to save someone else that you end up losing those you love. Not that you need telling, I'll bet you've lost plenty. But I wonder, what will it cost you this time? I don't remember when it was that I learned regret wasn't worth the bother. You get numb to it all over the years.
Damn. Harsh.
The lost comrades, the broken promises, the abandoned principles. Just more nagging burdens to ignore.
I feel like he just called his friends nagging burdens. That's what it sounded like to me.
So this is what the light was hiding. He's here. I must go to him.
Oh, I forgot. We have to go through her whole story arc. Meanwhile, inside the Imperial Magitech facility in the Source, already gets creepier.
Intruders! Fan out and find them!
Out of my way!
He just cut her down and it was just straight up cold blood. Didn't even see it coming.
Stay your weapon. We are not your enemy. When the alarm sounded, I wondered what we had done to betray our presence. But I see now we are not the only intruders. Sir Estinian, I presume. The dragoon who plucked the Warrior of Light from the jaws of death? Your armor is most distinct.
Much as yours once was. But even without it, I see a former legator still has eyes and ears in unexpected places. Van Baelsar, in the flesh. Though I understand you prefer Shadowhunter.
You are in contact with the Scions, I take it.
These two
Through
guys
no choice of my own.
just need to get
They
a room.
tracked me down and conscripted me to their cause. I swear their receptionist was trained as a spy. Not that anyone can escape that Baldessian woman once she has caught the scent of your ether.
If they have resorted to using freelancers, I must assume their attempts to wake the afflicted have failed. And what of their champion?
Away on other business. Thus, it has fallen to me to root out any trace of the Empire's new weapon.
If it is Black Rose you seek, you are too late. My people have already completed your mission here. Yet this is but one factory among many. When they caught wind of our efforts, they built additional facilities to ensure production continues unabated.
Leave it to the Empire. Oh, is one of our facilities under threat? Let's just build 3
There
more.
will be no one left in the lands they conquer. No citizens to conscript. No skills to exploit. Nothing the Empire needs. And they will call it victory.
What exactly does this Black Rose do?
Murders everyone. Death.
The gas is described as a poison, but its actual effect is more arcane in nature. It was created to disrupt the ether in living beings, to bring the flow of their life energies to a standstill. Inhaling even the tiniest amount will cause all bodily functions to cease, much as a potent venom will stop a man's heart. Released over a city, Black Rose could conceivably kill every inhabitant, and all without damaging a single structure.
Search every corner! Rouse the barracks if you have to! I want this facility secured!
I have more questions, but now is not the time.
Hope they brought some explosives.
Sir Estinian, I have an offer for you, but I will make it only once. Since it would seem we seek the same answers, you are welcome to join us.
Definitely not his style.
From what I hear, you need all the help you can get.
Burn.
In case you don't know, Varys himself confessed that your empire was a creation of the Ascians.
Ooh.
I am aware of what his Radiance said at the parley. Thus I would return to the capital, that I might behold the truth of this corruption with my own eyes. My path leads to Garlemald.
He looks up off to the distance. So dramatic, Gaius is. So dramatic. Surprised he didn't turn into a golden suit of some sort. Back to the source. Outfit change in hand.
You have come at a good time. As you may have heard, we have something of a quandary on our hands. Laxon Loft here in Lakeland. Yulmore has sent one of its airships. They have questions for us concerning the death of the Light Warden. Their emissary makes his way here even as we speak.
I suppose the sky does rather give the game away.
I'm gonna mix up like dumb.
'Twas inevitable they would come knocking. The only question was how soon.
My lord, I am come with the Yulmoran emissary. May I show him in?
A moment, Captain, if you would.
Best not reveal we were talking about him.
Everyone, gather round. I do not wish to show our hand prematurely. Forgive me this liberty. Vanish.
Creepy.
Enter.
know, gotta look imposing.
Well, well. The commander of the Yulmoran army himself. To what do I owe the honor, General Ranjit?
He's a bad mamma jamma, I'm young.
The Light Warden is dead, Exarch. Were your people responsible?
I have no proof of that.
You are clearly in some haste, my lord. But before I address your question, you must allow me one of my own. What is Yulmor's interest in this?
His Benevolence, Lord Vorthri, is gravely concerned that the actions of an ignorant few may jeopardize relations between man and Sin Eater. Should it transpire that the Crystarium is guilty of abetting the villains responsible for this outrage, my lord has decreed that it suffer the same retribution.
I see. Since you have been so candid, I too shall speak my mind. Regardless of who is responsible, the Crystarium rejoices in the Light Warden's death and welcomes the return of the night sky. If Yulmor considers this tantamount to aiding those you term villains, then by all means, carry out your retribution. Know, however, that even should every innocent soul in the Crystarium perish, nothing can stop that which has been set in motion.
Folly. The death of one or 1,000,000 Sin Eaters changes nothing. The world is dead, and writhe as we might, like maggots in its rotting course, it will not be reborn. Only by my master's grace may we live out our days in peace. But I waste my breath. You have made your stance clear. I shall relay your words to Lord Vorthri.
Good day.
In the meantime, you would do well to counsel any here who have done more than merely rejoice in recent events, to throw themselves upon Yulmor's mercy, promptly. One last matter. We are searching for a young artist and his assistant. Know you of whom I speak?
An artist and his assistant, no. I cannot say I do.
What a pity. Should they reveal themselves to you, I bid you hand them over at once. My master is most eager to see them again.
So I can insult him some more? I guess rightly Alphino could. I'd have flipped him off. That's 100% what I'd been like. You're like, oh, you can see me? Whoop, do something about it. I dare you, a mother trucker.
Am I imagining things, or did he just stare straight at us?
I fear he did. The General is not a man to be trifled with. He is a warrior of fearsome repute who has led Yulmor's army since before Vorthri's time, when the nation still spearheaded the fight against the Sin Eaters. One does not command the world's mightiest army, and for so long, without possessing exceptional instincts.
If Yulmor chose to send such an individual, we must assume this talk of retribution is more than an idle threat.
Like,
while we are grateful for your support, my lord, we
are they
cannot
surprised?
in
I
good
don't get it.
conscience put your people in harm's way.
'Tis noble of you to say, Master Alphino, but my people have been in harm's way since
Right?
long before you arrived.
We're trying to save the world here.
Yulmore has ever yearned to rule over what remains of the world. Even should we surrender the Warrior of Darkness to them, they would find some other pretext upon which to invade. The people of the Crystarium know this only too well, which is why, when the time comes, I am certain they will fight to the last man.
You would hope it
If
would
truth
come
be
to that.
told, I would not have been surprised had Ranjit declared war here and now.
Same.
He may have reason to delay. According to reports, the Yulmoran forces at Laxan Loft were observed taking a prisoner. A young woman believed to be none other than the Oracle of Light, Minfilia.
Minfilia?
It may be that General Ranjit wishes to convey her to Yulmore before commencing hostilities.
If you want to know who Minfilia is,
Having mentored
you'll have to go
generations of
to A Realm
Minfilias,
Reborn.
it would not surprise me if he had made her capture his chief concern.
Wait, is this the Minfilia?
Ah, of course. How remiss of me. I had intended to speak to you of Minfilia. There is, however, much to say, and precious little time in which to say it. I think it best that you seek out Maren at the Cabinet of Curiosity. He'll be able to enlighten you. Alphino, Alize, would you care to accompany your friend? You doubtless have insights of your own to offer on the matter.
All right, though I'm still not sure I understand it all myself.
In the meantime, I will set about making provisions for war.
I feel like you probably should have been doing that for like a long time. Aren't they besotted on all sides by sin eaters? You feel like they'd be a very warrior-like people at this point anyway.
You are doubtless eager to attempt Minfilia's rescue, and with your combined strength, you may well succeed. But as I said earlier, I do not wish to show our hand unless absolutely necessary. "'Twas not merely the night sky that you restored to us, but hope. Hope for the future of Norvrat.
Oh.
Unlike you, we cannot contend with the Light Wardens, but so long as hope burns in our hearts, we will fight on regardless. This I will prove to you."
Foreshadowing.
My friends, I thank you for gathering at such short notice. There is something I would ask you all. As many of you are aware, I received an emissary from Yulmore a short while ago in the form of General Ranjit. To my dismay, the General condemned the slaying of the Light Warden, and warned me in no uncertain terms that, should the Crystarium cast its lot with the Warrior of Darkness, there would be war.
Then there will be war.
Let none be mistaken. We would be hard-pressed indeed to resist the might of Yulmore. Some would even call it suicide. And yet my heart cries out to fight. Better that than relinquish the hope that swelled in my breast when I beheld the night sky for the first time in 100 years.
He's so short compared to everybody
Or so
else.
says my heart. My mind, meanwhile, reminds me that to follow my heart would be to risk everything we have accomplished thus far.
Thus far.
Clearly, this is not a decision to be made lightly, nor less alone. And so I put the question to you all. What should we do?
My lord, you already know our minds. It brought tears to our eyes to witness the knight's return. The whole of Norvrat deserves the same, and not just because some children's story tells us so.
Yulmor's influence is far-reaching. Should war break out, trade would be subject to restrictions. The flow of goods will dry up, and we will struggle to make do with what little trickles through. But make do, we will.
Aye, we can weather such hardships. Is that not the very thing the Crystarium was built for?
Looks like it was built a lot of wacky contraptions.
We have always taken pride in our ability to sustain ourselves. Not just to endure, but to thrive.
When all falls down around you, rise up. Those were your words. There may come a day when all hope seems lost, but even should the rest of the world give in to despair, we shall not. We shall fight on, that our children and our children's children might know a better tomorrow.
Rousing words apart, I never much cared for those Yulmoran bastards anyway. No better than common swindlers, most of them. Wouldn't know a fair deal if it came up and kissed them on the arse.
I like him too. Like him too.
Trust you to spoil the moment. Ha 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 ha!
It appears we have a consensus. Let it be known that the Yulmoran host at Laxon Loft has taken the Oracle of Light captive. They fear the power she holds over the Sin Eaters, and doubtless intend to imprison her once more. So, I move that we rescue the Oracle, grant her a place among us, and let that be our answer to Yulmor's ultimatum.
Here, here!
Here, here!
There, there. Where? What?
In planning a strategy for the rescue, I open the floor to you all.
Murder everyone.
And there you have it. If Yulmor wishes to denounce us as villains, then we shall embrace our villainy.
Love it.
Will you do so as well?
We are the Warriors of Darkness, after all.
We will not be outdone. Consider us your partners in crime.
My lord, our proposal is as follows. We begin by deploying Amaro to occupy the skies over Lakeland. They should serve to delay the airship's departure. At the same time, we scatter dream powder from the air. Not all will succumb to its effects, but it should thin the enemy's numbers, affording us an opening to swoop in and liberate the Oracle.
Liberate.
Very good. See to your preparations.
And what exciting crimes would you have us commit? Speaking for my fellow villains, I'd say we're capable of most things, though we draw the line at indolence.
Ha 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 ha.
If excitement is your desire, then I bid you join the guard. Captain Lena will give you your orders.
I bet she will. Not hesitate for a moment. The close-up shot. Well, alright, friends. So we stopped on... we have to come back with the Oracle of Light. Next time we mark that down. So we've been doing this for 4 hours. What do we think? Should I continue doing this on our next Final Fantasy excursion? Is this content worthy of watching? It's all up to you guys and what you enjoy. I don't even know if Mr. Wald is still here. He might have just put me in the background, which I appreciate. And thank everyone for being here today. It has been a wonderful journey, and I will probably do this myself. This has been fun, all the story without the grinding. Does it make you want to play the game? That's the real question. Is does it make you want to play the game? Ultimately is the question. Because I love this game. I've played this game for so long. I can't even tell you how many hours I've spent in this game. And it's got so many wonderful things. I was talking about making a video about why you should play Final Fantasy, and I'm just... It's a thing. Well, you now get the first 30 days for free, and you can go up to level 60 for free. So I gave you the level 70 to 80 quest, and you can get up to level 60. So there's only like 10 levels in there you wouldn't be able to even see for free at this point. So if you want to join in, I highly suggest Diablos. You can join our free company. Anybody who wants to, I'll surely squeeze you an invite. You can do that by joining our Discord. I love how I got a note from that. That's my personal Discord for the gaming situation. And then if you message me in there, I'll give you a link to the free company's Discord as well. Once you're in, because you might as well get the buff. We can immediately get you all the buffs that we get. Like you get bonuses right now for experience points and low levels. Disciples War or Magic. So maybe I should level some stuff today. Seems what's happening. But yes, it's been super fun. I'm glad everybody was here today. I'm going to do this some more. I might come back tonight. I have no real plans for what's going on, but I think Brandon's off, so maybe we'll play some Humankind. AM Wall, do you want to get a multiplayer going? Hit me up in the Discord. We can do some of that tonight. But I think this will end it, and we will see you guys the next time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow if you haven't already done that. Thanks again, Backcoaster. Thanks for always being here. I really appreciate it. Bye, everybody!